Okay, we're going to take a look at yet another Dinky Toy aircraft. Dinky Toys, for those of you who don't know, they're little die-cast toys that were made in England from about 1935 to about 1985, something like that. And their heyday was, I guess, in the 30s. They were meant as toys that went along with railways, toy railways. So anyway, here's an old Mechanical magazine from 1938. So we're going to find a plane to look at. I find some of these ads interesting. You get a little one here, apparently a snake wireless. Shaped exactly like a wireless bit, but when tuned in, a snake jumps out. Roars of fun, apparently. So there are all sorts of other cool things for the boys of the 30s. Television rifle. Yeah. So, more stuff, more good stuff. Building hobbies. All the mechano parts to build everything. Sort of like erector sets, but they're mechanos. And finally, we come to Dinky Toys. Yep, there's the sign that says Dinky Toys. And the toy we're going to look at today is this little plane here, called, if I can get it in focus here, the COMET RACER. And that's sort of an unprepossessing picture of it, because the actual toy is like this here. This is the actual toy, CSR. Yeah, there we go. And in the magazines at the time, it was a pretty popular machine. Here it is here, G-ACSR. And Geoffrey DeHavilland is the guy on the next page, I guess. He was behind it all. And the actual plane itself was twin 6-cylinder engines. And its development, you can almost see it, it sort of led to the Mosquito fighter bomber, which is super successful. If you get two 6-cylinder engines of 200 horsepower and replace them with two of 2,000 horsepower, it makes a useful sort of airplane. So that's one thing we see. And what else do we see here? On a book of speed. Let's see what we find here. If we can find anything. Oh yeah, there's something. Okay, so these are these lads, and there's your COMET RACER down below, and they've just completed some sort of race. No, I think that was the one that actually went to South Africa. And that's G-ACSS. Now, the actual plane, they only ever made 5 of them. And CSR and CSS, they have noticed a little landing light in the nose. That's a single landing light. So there's the book of speed. Back to CSR. And what else have we got here? Yeah, here's another Wonders of World Aviation. Oops. Well, there's a Wonder World Aviation right there on the cover, an autogyro. And here we have another article on the DeHavilland Comet. I don't know if these would be sharp enough to read, but anyway. So in the actual Dinky Toy, of which we see here, that was made from 1934 to 1941, and then it was reissued post-war. In other words, the same casting, but different call letters and so on. Slight differences from 1945 to 1945. 1945 to 1949 is reissued. Dinky was scrambling to get back into business after being repurposed for war work. New models and new dies took time to produce. So as a toy, it came out in 14 variants that I'm aware of. And I'm lucky enough to have 12 of them, I guess, or 11 of them. And the actual differences that you see, there's this one CSR, and this one also CSR. You come up here. And the key difference on these ones is under the wing. There's blank, and here's one that says DH Comet. So those regarded as variants. 2 variants. You also have the same idea here. Here's a red variant, which seems to be a bit entangled. A red variant, CSR, and another sort of rougher red variant. And the same idea here. We have the, whoop, can we focus? Yeah, DH Comet on one. And even though the element doesn't have any paint, you can clearly see it's not DH Comet. So we had those with call letters, and then the gold one with CSR. There should be another variant on that one that says Comet under the wing. This one doesn't. So then they also came out like this, just with pure colors. There's a nice one here in good condition. Nothing under the wing. And then they came out with colors like this. Silver with blue. You can get that focus. No, I guess we can't. Oh, here we go. And gold with red. Though this gold with red, I figure is just, it must be a repaint. It's just too good. Because the gold paint on these Comets, they sort of went cloudy, not very good. And then post-war, they came out with these models. It says GR Race. These are a little more common than the other ones. And under the wing, you can see it says Light Racer. So they modified the die to make it a Light Racer. And that one also says Light Racer. And then there's the silver version. And the neat thing is about these cool little planes, I mean, when they were flying, they just look so neat. Oh, and they came in little 6 boxes, trade box, or a couple of individual small boxes commemorating various things. And they also came like this in this sort of presentation set. And there's one there, G-ACSR. And it says DH Comet under the wing, so it's one of the earlier ones. Yeah, and such a cool little plane. Everybody will be happy to know that the original is still flying. They've got it actually up in Britain. Here's the, there it is. Ooh, got a few reflections here. But there it is, it actually flies, and you've got to agree it's a cool looking plane. Somebody should make a reproduction of this. So this is the original Grosvenor House, which is the one that won the race to Australia. Still going in England. I'll put a link in the comments. There's a neat little video that shows this thing flying. So anyway, that's the story of the DeHavilland Comet and the Dinky version of it. Again, a very cool little plane. I would like to get all variants, but some things are possible and some things aren't. They are hard to find, there's no question. So, there you go. We'll see what other stuff we can come up with. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks.